Hey, how's it going, guys? This is DNA Brothers. My name is Denver. This is Andrew. We're gonna get started on one of our first videos for you guys. All right, what we have here is a 2003 Chevy Suburban. It has about 400,000 miles on it. My family is the original owner of this vehicle. All right, and a couple days ago had some issues. I drove it about 40 miles out of town, 40 miles back a few hours later. I was home for about 20 minutes just to shower up real quick, and when I went to leave, the truck wouldn't start. It was cranking over, but it wasn't quite getting enough to actually start. I'm not sure what the problem was, so I took another vehicle out and then came back later that night, about 4 hours later, tried to start it again. Still same problem, and then the next morning it actually fired up. What do you know? So we don't know what's going on with it. It could be the spark plugs, could be the fuel pump, something in the fuel system, could be something in the ignition system. We don't know. What we're going to be doing today though is taking a look at the spark plugs. I'm sure they do need to be swapped. It's been so long since they have been changed, right? So we're just going to be taking a look. Hopefully that is the only issue going on right now. And this is the 1500. It's a two-wheel drive 5.3 motor. All right, and as you can see, the spark plugs, it's very easy.
Besides cylinder 7 back there, it's a bit of a pain in the butt to get out, I know personally, because I've worked on these motors. But
yeah, and Andrew's family also has a 2004 Chevy Avalanche, so basically the same exact motor.
Yeah,
and so we both have some experience working on these, not too much, but yeah, today we're going to be taking a look at the spark plugs, seeing if we can correct the problem going on. It fired up today, and we were able to get it out into the street so that we can get a good shot for you guys, because it was in the shade earlier. And yeah, let's take a look.
alright guys, so what you're going to need is adjustable wrench and a 5/8 socket. And then you don't have to, but I recommend it, taking an air compressor with the nozzle and just blowing out the whole engine bay before you go ahead and remove these spark plugs, to just kind of keep any of the contaminants out of getting inside the engine. You know, if it's windy too, maybe do this in a garage. You know, better your odds of not getting anything in your motor. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. Alright, we should be good. Let's get removing these plugs. I'm kind of excited to see what these come out to. They probably haven't been changed in what, like, probably 150,000 miles?
Yeah, I would say around there, at least 100,000.
Alright guys, so the first things first, you want to go ahead and remove these spark plug wires. And you can find those located down here in the engine bay. They're going to be right in between the exhaust manifold here on this Chevy 5.3. So on this side, we have the firing order is 2, 4, 6, 8. This side's going to be 1, 3, 5, and 7. So we're going to go ahead and remove these wires right here, which are not wanting to come off. Okay, there we go. And they can be a bit of a pain because the heat will cause them to stick to the plugs. There's one. This is what your standard manufacturer spark plug wire looks like. It's got a bit of a heat shield on there with a spring, and it can be a pain to get off. So I'm gonna get these off. They can be a bit of a pain sometimes. You just want to be patient, you know, especially if you got to reuse these plugs or these wires. You really just want to be careful.
And you always want to make sure when you're pulling them out to grab by the boot itself, not just grab the wire and yank it. Well, that's if you plan on reusing the wires. We're going to be getting new wires though.
Go ahead and get these 4 off. This last one, which is cylinder 8, is a pain. Yeah, all you Chevy guys that ever worked on a 5.3, you know what I'm talking about. this cylinder sucks to access. So yeah, my fingers are getting nice and my hands getting nice and chewed up by this heat shield. Luckily they weren't too seized in there. So alright guys, well that's it. This is what the old wires look like. Pretty corroded and yucky and gross. So
now it's time to get all the spark plugs out.
alright guys, so we went ahead and got the 1/2 inch drive extension for us, so we can go ahead and remove these plugs for you guys. When you're removing these plugs, you want to be really careful because these spark plugs tend to get all corroded, maybe even a little rusty, and they can actually break off if you're not careful. So you don't really want to sit there and torque on them. You want to kind of just give them a quick little nudge off the wrench and break them free rather than torque them. So let's get started.
And if they do get, you know, if they are too stuck and you feel like you might snap something if you pull too hard, then just maybe spray some WD-40 on there to loosen it up a little bit,
yeah,
and that should do the trick.
Which we had just done previously.
Yeah.
Good old WD-40. So let's go ahead and remove this first plug. Okay, so that's it. You can see
it's got some oil actually on there.
They look pretty burnt, to be honest. They do have some oil on there, yeah, you're right.
Let's come out into the sun a little bit.
Well, I mean, this vehicle does have, what, almost 400,000 miles or something like that. So, I mean, for the rings to be letting a little bit of oil or more oil than normal pass to, you know, the top of the cylinder is kind of normal. So
yeah, it doesn't actually look as bad as I was expecting it to look, but still should be changed.
Yes.
I stopped at O'Reilly just to see how much this project was going to cost.
Not including wires, because we're going to do wires today, but
yeah, and if you change one spark plug, you should change all of them. You shouldn't just change one. And if you're changing the plugs, you might as well change the wires as well.
Yeah, just that's kind of a basic tune-up, you know. So yeah, we're gonna do a time lapse of just getting the rest of this off, and we'll come back to you guys when we got them all out. We're actually gonna head to the parts store and might get a little bit of footage on the way there. But yeah, we're gonna be going ahead and swapping out all the spark plugs with new plugs, some anti-seize, and then some lube with the new wires. And hopefully that solves our issue. Fingers crossed, YouTube. Alright guys, we're on the way to go get these parts for the Suburban. We're gonna go get some spark plugs and some spark plug wires and then go back and install them. So yeah.
In case you're wondering, right now we are driving my dad's work truck. It's a 2006 GMC Sierra long bed diesel. It's got the Allison transmission. Beautiful truck. I love this truck. It feels like a freaking tank when you're driving it. I know that's not spark plug related, but man, I just you gotta appreciate a nice American built truck like this.
Yeah, gotta love diesel, that's for sure. So give you guys a little view of some of our city. It ain't nothing special, I promise you that.
And we live in Riverside County, Southern California. I'm not giving you the exact city name because we about to blow up our YouTube page.
Try anyway.
Yeah, try anyways, hopefully.
Based off of, you know, you guys.
This is the high school that we both attended.
This actually is. It's crazy. That's funny.
That brick wall over there, they built a pool. They started building a pool like basically right after we left there.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of memories there.
Yeah.
Especially this corner right here.
Yeah. A lot of wild stuff used to happen right in that field. Actually, around that whole high school, yeah. And then our middle school that we went to is actually up here on the left.
So, yeah, we got a lot of history out here in this city, so it's pretty meaningful to us.
I've lived here for about coming up on 25 years. Andrew, what?
I've been here my whole life, so I grew up my first 2 years of my life in the city over from the city, and the rest of my 22 years I grew up in the house that I'm in now. In this city, so.
Yeah, we grew up on the same block. I was like 2 or 3, and Andrew was 1 or 2 when we met.
Yeah, we used to, a little bit about us is we used to hang out. We used to ride our trikes together, smashing each other off the side of the curbs and doing all kinds of reckless hoonigan type stuff. Just growing up, being boys. So there's some history going on here, but yeah, we'll get back to you guys. We're pulling up to the store right now. All right, so we're back. Gonna break the rest of these out, and once we get these out, we're gonna go ahead and install the new wires and the new plugs. Where you at with it?
Still suffering.
Yeah, so there's not much of a, I don't know if you call those like an electro tip or what you call them, but the actual point to the spark plug is actually well burnt up pretty good. The spark plug looks pretty toast. Alright guys, so we're going to show you guys what you need to do to properly install these spark plugs and spark plug wires. So first go ahead and remove your spark plug. All my other ones have been done over here, but I just want to show you guys this before we go ahead and install it. So first you want to take some NACs, which we have right here, a little packet you can get at AutoZone or O'Reilly, and apply it at the thread. You don't need a lot, but a decent amount, so it covers, might be a little more than necessary, but make sure you put enough on there, that way it just doesn't seal up, or it doesn't end up seizing up on you, and then the next time you go to take off, these threads can break off. Next you want to apply some dielectric electric grease to the tip of the spark plug that's going to connect to the boot. We're going to apply a little bit of grease to the boot as well. And that should be good. And now we're going to go ahead and install these.
You just want to get them kind of hand tight at first, and then just snug them down a little bit with the ratchet when you're done. You should only put about 15 pounds of pressure. You don't want to put too much because you don't want to snap those things off in there. That could be really costly, could be a big headache.
I'm telling you guys, what you're about to witness is a little disgusting and disturbing. This is a slug hanging from a string. I've never seen this before in my life. That is weird. I've seen spiders hang from webs, but that is a little disturbing.
What is that?
That's a slug.
Yeah, I know, but like, is that goop?
That's its, yes, that's
Goop.
its goop.
Bruh.
Alright guys, one thing that we did forget to mention is spark plug gap. I know we didn't go over that while we were installing these, and I apologize for that, but ours, however, we didn't have to worry about it because ours are pre-gapped. So it is important that if you're buying maybe cheaper end spark plugs, or you know, depending on the spark plug that you buy, they may not be pre-gapped, so you want to make sure that it's specifically gapped to what your specifications are. So just wanted to throw that in there so you guys knew. Alright guys, so we got all the spark plugs tightened up. We're going to go ahead and start installing the spark plug wires. We already got the lube on all the metal connectors and the boots. Now we're going to go ahead and put these manufacturer heat shields on all the spark plug wires and go ahead and install them. So we'll record him doing this.
Just goes on nice and simple like that. Alright.
Pretty simple.
Just whoop, slides right on.
One thing I am going to let you guys know about these Chevys is right here on this steering column right here, you can see you have a little knuckle right here and a bolt, specifically right here on, I want to say it's cylinder, what, 1, 3, 5, cylinder 5 wire, or maybe even the cylinder 3 wire, will tend to rub up against that knuckle right there, and over time it'll end up grounding out and you'll end up getting a misfire. So my solution to that is to zip tie the wire that's closest to this, or maybe 2 wires that are closer to it, and to not have that situation happen is to zip tie it away from it, either whether that's the wires to them to each other, or you know, maybe up here to this whole wiring harness up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all these installed for you guys. And you can kind of see what I mean. See how it's just sitting right on that steering column? So what I think I did on my Avalanche was I zip tied those two together, or I zip tied it to the harness over here. I'm not sure. We'll get it figured out as we go though. Go ahead and make sure they're all in real quick. Doesn't hurt to double check things. And that side's good. Got the odd number side done. How you looking over here?
Pretty good. Just working on the last one right now, and boom.
Go ahead and double check them all.
You should hear like a light click maybe when you're connecting all these.
Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and zip tie that one wire, the number 5 wire, cylinder wire, up. That way it doesn't rub against this knuckle I was talking about in the steering column. Prevent it from having a misfire later down the road. So what we're actually gonna do, let's see, is we're going to zip tie it to this part of the wiring harness right here. This probably may not be the most recommended thing, but I didn't really want to zip tie spark plug wire to spark plug wire. Didn't want to zip tie it anywhere that's going to put it closer to the shield. Kind of wanted to pull it away from everything. So this is what I had actually done on my Avalanche, and it's been running fine for months now, maybe even a year or so. So go ahead and zip tie this up. Just help pull it away from that knuckle. And should be good. Just like so. Go ahead and snip the end of that off if you want, you know, your desire. Go ahead, start this bad boy up.
Moment of truth, y'all.
Sounds like it's running a lot better. It's fired instantly up too. When was the last time it fired up that quickly? Turn off again.
It's on and off with this thing. Sometimes.
Yeah, but that was kind of a cold start. It's been down for hours. Usually when it's cold like that, it doesn't fire up that quickly, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Going to the gym with you and stuff. Go ahead. Yeah, that sounds like it's running way healthier. That's it. Now you got little nice new wires in there and nice new spark plugs. Gotta love a Chevy, man. Sounds good. Alright guys, well you know, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get something going on our channel, get things going.
Thank you for watching. We appreciate it.
If you got any suggestions for us, maybe editing wise or just video wise, you know, just drop a comment, let us know. If you got any suggestions, you know, for us to do with this project, go ahead and leave a comment too.
And if you found this video helpful, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up and leave us a comment of what you liked and what you might have wanted to see differently.
Alright, thank you guys.
Have a good one.
Alright guys, so we're going to show you our little tip and trick of how to clean your hands after working on a car, which is
Yep. Old
sounds
school.
a little doubtful, but it works. Show you how it's done. You grab a little bit. It feels a little bit like cat litter in your hand, but promise it works. Look at my face here, dude. So would you take it, put it in your hand? Probably need a little bit more now, actually. Put a little bit in your hand. A little bit goes a long way. Wet your hands and just start scrubbing away. Kind of like that orange, whatever that orange stuff's called. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys that work on cars, you know what I'm talking about. So it's kind of like that. It just gets in there and scrubs real deep. So that or dish soap. I've used dish soap a lot over the years, and I mean, makes your hands feel real extra smooth afterwards. So that's always nice. I know the ladies will like that. So,
Oh, look at that.
I mean,
Show the other side. Boom.
that's pretty clean.